1.3 billion people have vision impairment, according to the World Health Organization. 1.3 billion. That outdoes your 1 billion phones.
Yep.
But it's a serious issue, and that means that the documents you're sending out to people, there's that many people in the world can't read them. And then you can extrapolate the numbers to Canada to figure out how many that would be, but it's a significant portion of the population. There's also legislative compliance issues in Ontario with AOTA that's coming into effect for websites and anything content that's on websites needing to be accessible, and as well the new ACA legislation that the federal government passed in May. And then, of course, in the US, we've got ADA and Section 508. And legal actions are happening pretty heavily. Thousands of lawsuits every year in the US are happening to force organizations to make their websites compliant. And of course, one of the things that goes with those regulations are that users can get the documents in whatever format they request them in. So, and today a lot of organizations here in Canada provide accommodation documents to customers that can't read the normal documents in Braille, large print, e-text audio, and we produce them for a lot of companies and then mail them to their customers. And of course, in the electronic world, you've got digital accessible PDF and PDF UA and accessible PDF that's WCAG compliant, which is a web guidelines, and of course accessible HTML5, which Scott referred to. Now, we look at it as there's really two types of documents that organizations use. There's transactional, which you people here are very familiar with. Identifiable structure, they're cyclical in nature, bill statements, and so on. And then anything else is we consider a static document. Might be documents that are on a website that are brochures, manuals, data sheets, that sort of thing. The formatting is random, and they could be published or they could be private documents. So we've been working in the accessibility area for about 10 years, and we've finally put together basically a total platform for accessibility. But organizations kind of sit on a spectrum someplace. Some want to do everything themselves, and some want to just provide them to a supplier that will do all the work for you. Just here's my documents. You make them compliant and give them back to me, and I'll be happy with it. So organizations, as you're tooling up for accessibility, where do you fit on that spectrum? Is one of the thoughts, and we've felt that it's important to address all of those people across that spectrum. So we've built an Accessibility Now platform, which evolves around the user, the customer, the recipient, and deals with both static documents as well as transactional documents. And supports all of the different formats that somebody might want. Accessible PDF, HTML, Braille, large print, e-text audio, all of those different formats. And to do that, we've built a whole platform of software products and services. So for static documents, we have the Accessibility Now Publisher, which is an automated tagging software product for documents that are static documents. And we have accessibilitynow.com, which is a website that people can upload a file to, a PDF to it, and it'll get remediated and converted into an accessible document and downloaded back to the user. We've got the Accessibility Now remediation services, which where we will actually take the files in bulk and remediate them, convert them into accessible format, and give them back to you. And we do thousands of pages of PDF a week right now for companies in the US that are getting all of their websites accessible and the content on them. And we also provide the services to go with that, which will create Braille, large print, text audio, and mail them on behalf of you to your customers. And Site Scan is something that we've started this year, which is a service where we'll actually go look at your website, run a tool against your website that will tell us and tell you all of the PDFs that are not accessible, how many pages there are, and be able to give you a plan based on that on how you're going to get all your documents on your website to be accessible and be compliant. Part of that is a validator, which will look at a PDF and see, is it accessible or not? Does it say it's accessible, or is it compliant with any of the standards or not? And you kind of decide from there what you want to do, and then we do assessments based on that. In the transactional world, for transactional documents, we've rebranded our Accessibility Express product into Accessibility Now Transactional to show what it really is. And it has the ability to take documents and convert them into accessible formats to address all of your mitigation, to mitigate your risks, make you compliant, and it supports, of course, all the different formats. We've also got a gateway product there that does that. And I'll show you how those work. The transactional will take output from any of the different composition systems that you might be using. Here's a smattering of some of them. There's probably, well, we've got some customers that have had up to 28 that they would admit different composition systems in their CCM platforms, and I'm sure nobody here would have that many, but or would admit to it anyway. But we'll take any of those outputs and be able to convert them into output that's accessible and in either PDF or HTML format. And we can start with AFP or PDF or PCL or PostScript or whatever it is that you're outputting from those different systems. Then the gateway product, Accessibility Now Gateway, is a piece of this that actually takes the documents out of a repository and will convert it into an accessible format, either accessible PDF or HTML on the fly. And as Scott mentioned, one of the companies that we work with is using ASG Mobius, and we're able to convert those documents going back as far as they need to go, whether it's 5, 6, 7 years, and then convert them on the fly into an accessible format for the end user. We do the same with customers that are using Content Manager on Demand or InfoArchive or Documentum, FileNet, any of those different systems. So we've got customers in all those different configurations that have their documents converted on the fly into an accessible format. So they don't have to go and convert them in a batch mode ahead of time and rejig all their processes around getting documents into the repositories while they're being printed. Yeah?
What about QA and testing? If it's done on the fly, it's done by machine, obviously. So
That's the difference between transactional and static. For static documents, we always have a QA process because they're random format. You need to make sure they're right, that graphics and that have the right alternate text and so on. For transactional, when you're setting up the rules, we have a designer, which is a GUI designer, and you do your testing there offline. And once you put that into production, then it's going to be 100% every time it runs because the rules you set up for it are tight. So that's different between the two different environments. Good question. And of course, we have all the different services for being able to do this for the organizations that want to just give the stuff to somebody and let them take care of it. Other things that we do, print center management solutions we've been involved in since, 24 years that we've been in business, which this kind of feels like home because we started in my basement about 2 miles north of here. Back in '95. Sorry?
Pretty crowded now.
Yeah. Now we have offices all over the place. We do a lot of things in print center management, and all the largest print shops around the world use our software for doing transforms, converting files from one format to another. adding barcodes, print certs, and colorizing print files now as they put inkjet technology in. We have a designer that allows people to take print files in and bring them up on the screen and be able to move things around, and then have the applications then do that when they print. The ProConductor dashboard is a dashboard for managing all of your processing and delivery processes. So it does from end to end monitoring, lets you have one dashboard to be able to look at and monitor everything that's going on in multiple print shops, as well as down at the job level, see where things are happening, where they're at. Combining multiple print files for especially inkjet. If you're implementing inkjet, you want to take advantage of the power of the inkjet. You don't want to be sending it small print jobs. You want to combine them together and drive that machine, or feed the beast, as a lot of people say. And TurboFlow speeds up postal optimization so that you can get maximum postal discounts on large print files. We also have a quality assurance product line that based on QA in the cloud that allows you to be able to test changes to templates for your CCM systems or any other software you might be using. And we do offer assessments to help you figure out what you need to do to get from where you're at to where you want to be able to handle the high-speed inkjet and optimize your processes. Of course, we have transforms. You have to have transforms. That's where we started, and have built quite a platform of transforms from all the different print formats into other formats, electronic and as well as printing. And enhancement solutions, optimizing PDFs. We're doing a webinar on that coming up in the next, I think it's in August at some point, on about PDF optimization. Document re-engineering, being able to add barcodes, move things around, to add color, all that kind of thing, and using a GUI design tool. Redaction, being able to take confidential information off of documents is an important one for being able to make sure that your information that should be secure is secure. And of course, combining multiple print files, optimizing for inkjet, adding images and that sort of thing. I still got this ugly orange image on here. I don't know. We got to get rid of that. But some people say that Transpomo died a long time ago, but reality is everybody's doing exactly that. They just don't call it that anymore. We have a tremendous number of tools. I'm not going to go through all these. It's too long a list to be. We'll be here until dinner time. But we do a tremendous amount of work in our work behind the workflow tools that run under anybody's workflow system, and do all of the enhancements and changes and that you need to do to be able to accomplish your job. And there's a bit on the ProConductor. It's a very nice dashboard system, very intuitive. Command and control. It's got process automation, so you can automate all of your different steps in your workflow processes, and track all of your jobs and the pieces in those jobs. Make sure that they get out. Automate reprints if something fails on your inserter. That never happens, right? Is there anybody from the inserter companies here? And real-time alerts to people so that somebody can be staying home watching a baseball game and get an alert, oh, we got a job that failed, and they can pull out their laptop or their iPad and fix the problem up, and production carries on, and then get back to the game. All of the comprehensive reporting, all the dashboard capabilities there. It's a real great way to be able to monitor your shop. Now, switching gears a little bit, e-delivery is something we got involved in back in '96, I guess, a year or two after the company started. We have a full suite of solutions helping organizations do the e-delivery, being able to take those documents and convert them to PDF for delivery on any of the platforms you might use, whether it's your own biller direct system or it's ePost or whatever. And again, Operations Express has the capability to add call to actions, online links, colorize documents, get rid of barcodes, whatever it is you might want to do for your e-delivery. We have people that will replace 800 numbers with a link to their customer service site so they can reduce the number of calls to the call center when somebody goes online to look at their document. Go Mobile, which Scott talked about, creates the responsive HTML. And Sunrise, which allows basically a connector to all of the different systems out there that people use for storing, archiving documents. And we have something called Pro Preference Manager, which is used for being able to determine what customers really want. Where do they want their documents delivered? And actually our first customer for that is actually here in the Toronto area. And they're doing for a lot of different financial companies, allowing their users to be able to take the, for each document, whether it's the monthly statement, the annual statement, whatever, and determine what they want. Do they want it electronically? Do they want it on paper? Or do they want an accessible format? So the users can determine where they want it delivered and what format they want it delivered in. And that's by document type within the different companies that are running off of that shop. Very interesting capability. It kind of extends the CRM system's capability to determine what the user wants. And actually language is one of those options. What language do you want the documents and menus and so on in, so that it handles our French-English challenges. We already talked about the accessibility now, transactional, but that allows you to have the documents delivered in accessible formats. And the dashboard can work as well with the documents as it does with printed documents. And again, we can come in and do assessments to determine what you need to do to be able to get your CX needs met and deliver what your customers are looking for. And so just looking at the same thing in a graphical format here. So, and Go Mobile, which we already talked about, being able to take documents and pour them into any different format device and have them look appropriate, not have to do the squint and print or squint and pinch. So we've grown quite a bit over the years. We now have several different companies, Crawford Technologies, as well as Flatirons Digital Innovations in Boulder, and Agilitech in the federal government space in the US, and of course accessibilitynow.com, which is a portal to deliver accessible documents. And our footprint now, we have engineering in Toronto area, as well as in BC and Colorado, and sales support offices all over the world. Over 140 of us now, and 1,800 customers on 6 continents. 7 out of the top US banks use our software, and 17 of the top 20 insurance companies, as well as the 3 largest healthcare payers in the US, which is quite a feat, and print service providers of all sizes worldwide. The largest ones in the US, the largest half a dozen or so are definitely customers of ours. And our net promoter score, as Scott mentioned earlier, is plus 75 in our latest survey, which shows that we're looking after our customers. Our team is so customer focused that they do whatever it takes to make sure customers are meeting their needs. We've had 24 years now delivering award-winning products and services, and a professional services organization that is amazing. We've built a solid modern infrastructure over the last couple of years. We've redone all our systems, so we're using Amazon, NetSuite, Salesforce, Kimball for professional services management, and Box, Trello, tools like that are state-of-the-art, cloud-based, most of them. And we have a very strong support team, very skilled people with lots of experience, and we consistently exceed our customers' expectations. So And we've got a lot of partners, a lot of companies that work with us that, you can, in some cases, buy our products through them, or the organizations that we work together with very closely. And have agreements in place with all of these. And I think most of them you can buy some of our products through them. And there's some awards we just won. We just got on the Branham list again last week. I haven't added that logo in here yet, but we've a lot of Explore awards we've won over the years, and Technology and Application of the Year awards, and we're one of the fastest growing companies in Canada with Profit Magazine, which is now Canadian Business. No, it's now Maclean's. It's been folded into Maclean's. So I'll quickly go through this. We're a strong partner that works with organizations to take them from the legacy into the future, so that we can help you deliver documents and information the way that users need it, and as they will in the future. And future-proof things. That's our approach to things. Make it so you don't have to go back and redo things, so you can focus on running your business. So with that, I'll let you go to lunch. Thanks.